All right. So now we want to clean up our views and URLs. So right now we have all of our products, all of our users, all in the same views and URLs. And this is going to get even messier when we add orders. So right now it's not that much. It looks pretty clean. Even our views are sustainable at this point. But I want to clean these up so they are all in their own separate files. But so what I am going to do is completely start creating new folders and new files, and it's going to break things up a little bit. And then we'll actually close this out by finishing this up and making sure everything works. So let's go into our front end here or into back end, and we are going to go into that base urls.py. So that file that points to our URLs, we are going to take this out. And for now, what I am going to do is just comment this out, and I am going to create a few more paths. So this is going to completely break our API at this point. And in here, I'm going to create 3 different paths to point to our 3 different files. So I'm going to do API forward slash products, and this is going to point to the we are going to use a include method. This is going to point to base. So our base app will do base.urls.product underscore URLs. So URLs. So we are going to create a folder called URLs. And then in that folder, we are going to create a urls.py file just for our products. Then we are also going to do the same thing for our users and orders. So we are going to do users, and this is going to go into user URLs. So let's do users right here, and this is going to be orders, and we can change this to orders. So orders URL. So let's take out the user. So that's going to be user URLs, order URLs, product URLs. But here we are going to add that here. So users, products, and orders. So the next thing we need to do is create the views now. So before we actually connect the URLs, we need to make the views, and in here I'm going to go into backend again. I keep going into front end, and I'm going to create a folder, and this is going to be called views. So we are going to create a folder called views, and inside of views, we are first going to create our product URLs or product views. So product, and that's like that. So product underscore views dot py, and then we want to create a user underscore views dot py, and one one for folders. So one for orders. Okay, so order views dot py. So we have our 3 files, and I want to start separating everything in our views. So we are going to delete this views and URLs file once we take everything out. So the first thing I want to do is take everything from here, all the imports, and I am going to add this to products. And in our orders or inside of our products, we don't need the token serializers here. We don't need the user serializer. So we'll take care of or take all that out, and we'll import things back in later if we need those. but I do want to keep the status code. I can take care of or take out password. I can take out the user model and everything else. I can even get rid of JSON, so I don't need that more. So I'll save this. And I want to go back into my views, and let's take all the product views. So we'll take everything from get product to products. So yeah, so I am going to copy this and then I can just remove that. And I think that's it for the products. And we'll just paste these into our product views here. So now for our user views, we'll go into the views file again and we'll just take everything here. So into our views.py, paste that, and I'm going to get rid of JSON response. I still need the user for now. I think I'm going to get rid of products, and let's get rid of, I need password, make password. So for now, I'll just leave everything as it is. Then if we have any issue, I will change up the imports again too. So from our views, let's take the rest of the views. So we have get users. We need that for our users file, get user profile, register user, and the serializer. So I will take that, copy that, and we are going to paste this into user views now. So here you can see for our order views, we are not going to do anything here. So I'll close that out. We'll take care of this later. And for our views.py file, I can go ahead and just delete this so we don't need this file anymore. And what we want to do next is actually create our URLs. And before we do that, I actually want to fix up a few things here. So in our user views, I can actually get rid of that original products import that we had. And I want to also change this to base. So everywhere where we are importing from a file back in base, we need to add base now. So we can't just do the dot, we can't just do dot and then whatever we are importing, and we want to do the same for product because we are now in a different file structure because we are in the views folder. So now we are going to go into base models and products that can be completely removed, and then uh, base dot serializer. So just notice that last second, and I think that's it. So let's create those URLs. So in our URLs here, I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to call this one just URLs, and we are going to create three different files just like we did for our views. So we are going to do product underscore URLs dot py. Then we want orders and users. So order underscore URLs dot py and user URLs dot py. Okay. So let's start with our products, and what I close out orders, close out users. For now, we can close out these views, and I will even close out the base URLs file or the root one. And then we are going to go into our base app and let's steal a few things from our urls.py file. So I'm going to take all of this right here and let's go into products, and I will paste this in, and inside our products we don't need anything with users here, so we just have our products. And I can get rid of this now because in our root URLs file. So if we go into here, we have API forward slash products. So that means the base URL path is just going to be like that. And then here we just need to pass in the product ID to get a single product. So cleans it up there. And then to actually make this import, we need to do base dot, and then we are going to go into views. And we are going to import views. So we are going into the base file. We are importing from the views folder. We are importing the views. And we want to import them, import product views. So product underscore views as, and then this is going to be views. So we still want to be able to keep this name here. So in theory, we could just do, if we got rid of this, we could just do product views like that. But I want to import that as views. So that should be good for our product views. Now for our user views. So let me close out this file here, and inside our user URLs, let's go into our base URLs. We'll take all this again and back into users. So we'll paste this in, and now we can get rid of all of our product URLs, and we can get rid of users here. So we don't need that anymore. The profiles we already have that when we are setting that up in the base, and we are going to import from base.views, we are going to so what we are going to import our user underscore views, and we want to make sure the products were imported, right? For some reason I feel like I messed that up. Now that's correct. So product views, so import the base views, and then this is going to be as views. So this way we can also keep this naming here. So let's save that. We updated all of our URLs, our views, and we also need to add something to our order URLs. So let's just go ahead and create an empty URLs pattern. So I'm just going to paste this in here because this will give me an error if I don't have this inside of my base. So this is going to be base views and order views as views. And the reason why that would give me an error is because if I go back into my base URLs here, or my root URL that needs to point to something, and in here we at least need to have URL pattern. So I think that's okay if I leave that blank for now. And at this point, what I need to do is I'm going to test my server, but I first need to delete the original urls.py file, because if I still have this, this is going to give me an error. So we can't have the file and folder, so I'm going to remove this. So make sure that that's the one inside of your app, not this root urls file. So now our app is pointing to each URL file. So the include method points to those files, and our routing should be good. So I'm going to save everything. We'll close this out, close out users, products, and our views here, and let's just turn on our server. So Python manage.py run server, and we'll just make sure everything's correct here. So far so good, and our server is on, and let's go to Postman and we'll go into products. So we'll do a send method or a get request. We got our products, we got the single product. Okay, that looks great. Our users will hit send. We get back some data. Why we are getting back data in our user profile? Let me tell you. I will check out what's going on there, but our users look good, so the basic configuration is complete. I am just going to figure out what's going on inside of profile, and then we'll move on from here. Okay, I just unpaused it. I don't know why we are returning data. I don't remember doing anything there, but we are just going to change that to serializer.data. And if we have any issues after this, I will just add to this video. But if this works fine, then uh, that should be it for this video. And in the next section, what we are going to do is we are actually going to move to the front end and use these routes right here and actually create the login and registration system and actually build out the front end portion of our authentication.